Here's a little intro to an explainer video I put together. Tell us a little bit about the gray path. Enjoy.
We tend to treat the human body like a digital machine with a broken button. If something hurts or feels stuck, we assume there is a specific switch we can press to turn the problem off. Treating trauma like a digital infection to be deleted only crashes the system. We try to force the body into a state of perfection, and when the pain returns, we fall into a cycle of frustration and system failure. This creates a Skinner box environment. We frantically mash levers, hunting for a quick external wellness fix, instead of sitting down to witness what our nervous system is actually doing. The gray path treats your personal history as a textbook, a collection of data to be studied. Every ache and stutter is a record of how your body has managed stress over time. The process begins with the arrival protocol. You sit down and explicitly acknowledge the damage without trying to repair it. You state the rule: I arrive cracked. This does not fix me. It witnesses me. This protocol focuses on a governed re-entry into your biological archive. You are essentially learning to read the information stored in your own tissue. The human fascia acts as a sensitive piezoelectric sensor. When mechanical pressure builds up in your muscles and connective tissue, that stress converts into a measurable electrical charge. To safely interface with that charge, we use a hardware setup called the Grave Ray. It relies on a clean 1.5-volt DC battery to ensure we avoid the harsh digital switching noise that can trigger a defensive stress response. A 555 timer circuit, paired with a capacitor, rounds off those sharp electrical edges. It turns the raw voltage into a gentle, continuous wave that mimics the body's own electrochemical signals. Current must be tightly controlled. We strictly limit the output to between 0.015 and 0.5 milliamps, delivered through electropolished 316L stainless steel probes to prevent hot spots on mucosal tissue. We map the application sites using the asymmetrical octagon. This measurement tracks the 1245 torsion line from your left hip to your right shoulder, an axis that reveals how your physical stride and posture carry the weight of unresolved history. While applying the current, you manually oscillate the vagus nerve by humming specific resonant frequencies, specifically 2113 Hz and 0113 Hz. Digital signals often trigger defensive responses because they rely on rapid switching. Analog current, however, functions more like a tuning fork, resonating with the body's rhythms to allow the nervous system to let its guard down. The hardware is only half the equation. The physical input generates a flood of somatic data that has to be mentally processed through a framework called daily alchemy. This diagram shows the 4 daily passes. It starts at night with nigredo, the act of letting the day's illusions die. The next morning brings albedo, where you objectively map the shifts in your resting heart rate and skin resistance. Then comes citronitis, taking one clear intentional action based on that data. Finally, rubedo is the integration stage, where the internal stress stabilizes into a sustainable physical presence. During this logging, you write down your own spoken stutters. These verbal catches act as carrier waves for the trapped data, showing you exactly where the system is lagging. These 4 steps act as a cognitive resistor. They regulate the flow of information, preventing the intensity of the physical protocol from overwhelming your conscious mind. This leads to the rat function. The organism stops hitting the lever for an external reward and instead tunes into an intrinsic internal resonance. We use the reality contact protocol to stay grounded. We ask specific, challenging questions to distinguish between helpful metaphors and literal, measurable physics. This 1-inch offset marks the white gap. It serves as a permission field, a specific anatomical space that allows the body to process and discharge internal electrical stress. Before any session, you review the start card. It mandates the one source, one pass rule and defines strict stop conditions. If your chest flutters or the sensation is wrong, you pull the connection immediately. The entire circuit grounds out with bare feet in the dirt, anchored by the quiet hum of 2113 Hz. The spirit needs no permission to heal. However, the body requires these strict, governed limits to remain physically regulated as the nervous system integrates the change.